name's Suzanne Adams. I'm James's mum. James is 12 years old and has severe cerebral palsy due to negligence by the hospital when he was born. I had an extremely long labour, and towards the end of it, the registrar came in and talked to me about having a caesarean section. She then disappeared and came back a couple of hours later and had actually forgotten about me. It was then too late for me to go down for a caesarean. She wanted me to have James naturally. I had 2 midwives with me throughout the morning. James and I were both monitored with a CTG trace. The midwives failed to pick up the trace was abnormal, showing that James's heart rate wasn't correcting itself after my contractions. Eventually, James was born. He was sort of very blue and floppy and had to be resuscitated. And then he was sort of taken up into the special care baby unit. And he was a week old before I could even give him a cuddle because he was so poorly. A few months afterwards, James was sort of clearly different. We asked for an appointment to see the consultant obstetrician, and I went to see him with Graham, and he went through the details in our medical records, looked at the CTG trace and said that that was absolutely fine. He also said that if I'd gone through the same labour again, there wouldn't have been anything done differently, that everything had been done appropriately. And even if I'd had a caesarean section, James would not have cerebral palsy. He would have been born absolutely fine. And that is something that our experts have acknowledged. I separated from James's dad when James was about 18 months old, and since then I've been a single mum. It was really difficult looking after James. He can't sit on his own, he can't walk or crawl, he can't feed himself, he can't toilet himself, he can't get dressed, he can't speak very well. We had an awful lot of medical appointments. I got very little sleep. It's also had a significant impact on my mental health. I'm on long-term medication for depression and mood stabilisers. But no, we just sort of plod along, really. The hospital admitted liability for what had happened to James, and following that, Denise was able to get us what's called interim payments, which was a sum of money from the hospital. This enabled us to provide James with things that he needed. James requires 24-hour care. We need extra support with his education. He also needs an awful lot of specialist equipment just so that he's able to do ordinary things that we take for granted that other 12-year-old lads would just do. The award will also mean that James will be able to have accommodation that actually meets his needs. He uses a powered wheelchair to get around. He has a specialist bed. He has a special seat in the bath. I have really gone from the depths of despair, a very sort of black sort of time, but as the legal case has progressed, I can now see light at the end of the tunnel. And the amount of support that Denise has been able to give us on a personal and a practical level, that has made such a huge difference to our lives.